What do you reckon about that
Space
cone of
base.
sweets? That green. So I'm trying to get to not pill. There's the material there.
Oh yeah, we live. Back with Jackson.
Uh-huh.
Listen to a bit of Ras G.
Ross.
This dude's probably like one of my favorite artists at the moment, man. Slow tempo, drifty. Moved in with oof.
Ross. I'm wearing the fitting Ross Stussy. The Rasta.
Oh yeah, it is too.
We
Yeah.
rust out.
What's happening, man?
Chilling, bro. A bit of a busy period of the year, but yeah, trying to still stay trying to still incorporate the stillness as well. But yeah, I got a lot going on.
You back on barbering now?
Yeah, that's been real busy too. But yeah, I know I got a lot going on this time of year, but I've been pretty proud of myself this year. Grown a lot and like kind of incorporated more of that stillness and I don't know, more of the important stuff to me this year. I feel like, yeah.
And what how so? Have you been working through some things and
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I don't know, I guess I grow heaps every year, but I don't know, I guess I'm proud of myself and how much I just like proved I could achieve the past like year or two.
yeah, man, that's actually
know.
been cool, bro. Like
Yeah, and just all off my own back. It wasn't like, yeah, anyone pushed me to do that. It was all just, I had to push myself to, not even push, because if I don't want to do something, I won't do it, you know what I mean? But anything I do, I'm pretty passionate about it. So, yeah, it's cool to reap benefits from that stuff that I've like been interested in and I've wanted to push. No one's pushed me into it, you know? Yeah.
it's cool to see it growing. I remember when you first started out, kind of like clothing and wanting to make your own brand, and you always been like designing stuff and drawing and stuff like that. But it's now pretty cool to see over the past couple of years how like your thought of what you wanted and where it wanted to go, to now slowly just like taking like one step,
Yeah.
and then takes another step, and then like as you keep stepping, like your head steeps like
Yeah.
is like coming up every step, and then you get to see like,
Yeah.
oh, here's the picture,
More
man.
opportunities and
Yeah.
more like
And just a story like behind it all, and how passionate and what it means to you. And for me to know that from outside, because like we've had discussions about it and stuff, but when I put like a piece of your clothing on, I'm like, damn, this feels so good. Like, I don't know if it's because I know the story or whatever, but
it's just like you appreciate the time and like you know how much it like took for me to do it. And
yeah, but it's kind of like because it's made with such intention.
yeah.
Like, have you like you've had let's for instance like a meal, and you've just whipped something up and whatever, and you just force it down, eat it, and you're thinking about every other thing. But then a meal when you fully intentional cook with like love and whatever, and make it really nice, and then you eat it, it's like, oh, that was so good. And that's what it feels like when you put a piece of your clothing on. I only put a sample on, but just to know that you've done all that, I was like, damn, this feels fucking cool. And it's cool to see how it affects different people and artists, and like, because you don't know the backstory.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I love when like the random like coffee guy or like barista or random person at the store just says something about it, like their opinion, or like they're like, oh, what's that? Or I don't know, laugh at it or say, oh, I get that, or oh, that's cool. Like I appreciate that 'cause it's just like that's the people that I want to touch. Like I don't want to. I want to touch the everyday person, even if they think it looks cool. I got lots of hidden messages in like everything I do.
Mm.
And it's really a piece of me and my belief system like I'm putting out there. So for someone to just think it looks cool, I'm like, yeah, sick, because like they might get,
It could be the colours, and the colours
yeah.
have meanings like, and
And
you're like,
then
oh,
maybe one day they're sitting there and they're like, peace, love, unity, and they're like, start thinking about that, or like, who knows, like, or they see this sticker and just start thinking, why did he like?
I've had so many compliments on that already.
Why did he want to make it like that, like representing the original people of Australia? It's like, we'll sit and think about it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
That's all I want. And like you were saying, it's one step at a time. Like I've grown to just love the journey and the process, and like you don't want to rush the process. I've said that before, but like I love enjoying, like I love the ups and downs of the process, and
That's life.
yeah, the frustrations, the I can't get this done yet, and then like you've already seen it with like, this thing I really wanted to do, can't do it. 2 months later, I come to you, I'm like, bro, I can do it now. Like, it's sick. Like, I love that aspect, not just like being baby fed or like, I need to get this person to do this for me. It's like, no, I'm working shit out on the fly. That's like awesome, because that's what I'm saying. I'm so proud of how much I've grown. And that's because like I've just had to do it on my own.
It's been, and it has been cool to watch, not just that process of the thought coming to materialistic things, but just the way like you carry yourself now.
Yeah, and it's my personality to get real caught up in that and not be able to look back and be like, oh, look at what you've already done, like look at what you've already achieved. I can be that real, like just looking ahead, like trying to hit goals. You know what I mean? Get real stressed out. Like, there's times where I've been stressed out lately, but I'm glad that I've grown enough to be able to be like, no, let me just do 1 8-minute breathing session. You know what I mean? And then like I'm calm. I just make dinner. I'm not thinking about it. You know, stuff like that. So
the breathing's been, if not like one of the most powerful things that I've incorporated with fully intention to do it. You know. It's hard not to get trapped in being somebody that does things either spiritually, physically, mentally. It's so hard to not just do those things for a point. Let's get a tally system.
Yeah. Damn.
I went for a run. I did an ice bath. I done this. There's a tally. This is making me a better person. I'm going to do this shit all year, all my whole life, and this is going to make me a better person.
Yeah,
it could make you a better person, as in the way of sitting with yourself for that minimum short of time, but tallying your life so you change is not the way. I don't think. My belief system is you have to step into the work. Like, don't just do it for the sake of going, oh yeah, I'm doing this, I'm going to become some guru. I'm doing this, I'm meditating every day. I'm going to be, you just got to step in through that process. It's hard to say, like, but you know what I mean? People can really just do things to tally them.
Yeah.
I've been in that situation before where I'm just ticking it off. Who's seeing this? Ticking it off.
Instead of like listening to like what you need today. Like, yeah, you might have sat down to meditate, but how deep do you go, or that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I've loved about the breathing and even stretching or meditating, is that whenever I'm stressed out, I can be like, I can't do this, or I really need to get this done by now. I can always just step back and be like, let me just do one of these things. 'Cause I know, like, I know I'm going to be in a better space to like make better decisions. You know what I mean? exactly that. Like, I'll be in a better space to make better decisions. I'll think clearer. Because in that 8 minutes, you're sitting with all that shit that you're trying to put back, and you're like, no, hold on, let me face this, and then I'll get back. You know?
Yeah. Going through breath and meditation kind of makes you become present, and then all these thoughts and emotions that you all have, and you're like, oh, like, how to do this, it's all just shh.
That's literally it. Like, when you're stressing out, just be like, all right, no, let me sit still and face it, and then deal with the other shit later. Like, that's not important. Deal with whatever your body's telling you. If you're really in your head stressing out, then you got to sit, deal with that, come back to your root, you know?
And you know what's so funny? Like, I've been somebody who's like stressing all the time, anxious all the time, like pumping all the time. And then I've been somebody who's just recently been a lot more calmer and like relaxed and just letting things kind of come to me just through different experiences I've had lately. And when you go back to being so anxious and caught up and whatever, and then I say I do that for a day, that afternoon I'm like, what the I'm like zapped, bro, like so zapped. And sometimes I've done it for a couple of days and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I need to chill out. Like, and everybody is doing that
every day.
Every day. People are on like social media. Like, for instance, I had that lock on my phone, like it tells me my percentage and stuff. I was spending 5 hours on social media a day. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't super bad, but that's pretty bad in my terms. And then there's like people doing more or less. But that's everyone locked in, not worrying about themselves and going, oh, fuck, everything's too hectic out here. I'm going to focus all in on here, and what everyone else is doing. And then I forget about my own self. But then, oh, fuck, they're doing so well.
I've been there.
My life shit.
Like, it's literally social media work. On your break, you're on social media, work. Come home from work, on social media. Making dinner, on social media. Maybe watch YouTube, go to bed. Like, it's crazy. Like,
that fucks you up.
Yeah, it's.
I still have days like that. Don't get me wrong. I still do that shit, but I feel it the next day, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucking off track here.
Don't mistake being able to be still. Like, that's the thing that they try to push on you, is that's lazy and like, you're just sitting around. But like, doesn't even take long if you can. We're talking about just sitting, being calm for like 10-20 minutes a day. That's like, all your stresses will like go. I don't care like what you're talking about. It might be a hard 20 minutes if you don't like, if you're not very comfortable being by yourself, but that will like. I've had someone at work recently. I put him onto the Sam Harris app because he told me he wanted to get into meditation. He literally told me last week, he's like, man, that changed my whole, like, literally changed my life. Like,
whoa.
Not like, he wasn't pressing it like that, but he said that. He's like, it changed, like, my whole everyday life. Like, now when I come home to, like, my missus, I'm just so, like, cool. Like,
fuck yeah, brother. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
He's like, there's no, like, oh, I can't believe I gotta, like, wake up at 3 to change his baby, or, you know, look after his newborn son.
Bro, this is your life.
Yeah, he said now he wakes up at 3 and he's like, cool. And he puts in, like, his podcast and, like, sits with his son and, like, does the 8-minute meditation or whatever the day Sam Harris meditation is. I'm like, man, that's literally it. Like,
man,
everyone could use that. I'm telling you, like.
I just had a thought. I'm like, when you like start complaining about things and saying, oh, fuck this, like, I'm sick of doing this, I'm doing this, I'm like, that's your life. Like, you're doing all those things.
Yeah.
Like, you should enjoy that.
Exactly. That's like, what he said about his son. It's like, I have a son. Like,
bro, that's
so
what
I'm waking up at 3.
You just want to keep waking up and going, oh, fuck this again. I'm sick of this shit. Like, I can't wait to get to bed. And then you wake up again and you go, oh, fuck this. I'm sick. Like, learn to love your life and what you're doing in the process during it, because that's how you start to become somebody who's like, man, this dude's a cool dude to be around. He's just like loves what life's
Proper.
about. And that's what other way are you gonna go? You're either gonna fucking hate everything,
Proper.
or you're gonna just love everything, or you're just gonna be in the middle and be like, oh, I don't give a fuck. Like,
And I've been there too. Like, I've been there. Where
that's just
I
my
don't
thought.
give-
I'm not
yeah.
saying everybody has to do this. So this is just
Yeah.
me just being like,
I haven't had a kid yet either. I don't know how hard that is, but I
No.
know that like I know that there's a satisfaction out of that, because some guys and some males and females can't have kids ever, and like that's literally all they'd ever wanted. So it's like there's something in everything to be grateful or like enjoy, you know?
what are your thoughts around like people actually just being with themselves, sitting with themselves throughout days? Like it's, I would say a lot of people don't do that. Like as you said, go to work or wake
Oh, they
up,
don't.
jump on their phone.
I
go to
work in a
work.
barber shop, so I see everyone. They don't.
But it's so hard now that we're all just interwoven and connected through like this like web of information. It's so easy to access somebody. Like, oh, my mate 6 hours away. How's he doing? Yo, what's doing, man?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's brought a community sense.
Yeah.
But there has to be some time where you're like, yeah, I need to pull back from that.
Well,
Because otherwise you're just getting worried. Otherwise, where I've been before is like, man, I can't wait to get up and watch what this dude's doing today.
yeah, it's
I'm like living through someone else.
it's cool to have like community, but I feel like you gotta have something to give to the community, you know what I mean? And you don't have, like, if you don't have your own food to trade, like, what are you in the community for, you know what I mean? So I feel like you have to be as much as the community is important, yes, I feel like the important thing is to be by yourself, craft your whatever your thing is to bring to that community. And then, you know what I mean, you're doing research, you're coming to the community, hey, look what I found out. What'd you guys find out?
Does this
Sick.
help?
Next project. Hey guys, I found this out. Where'd you find it? That's how you can't just like
It's hard. It's easy to get caught up in that washing machine there and do that, because when
Yeah.
you step back, you're like, oh shit.
And it's easy to be like, bro, I'd love to just be by myself all the time. It's easy to be like that too. Like,
But yeah, that other end doesn't really help anybody either.
No,
like you're
it's-
kind of just going off on your
No.
own thing, and you're like, yo, I'm sweet
no,
out here. You're
because you're not coming back, like, you know, connecting to anything.
like, yeah.
Or like teaching the knowledge or that you've learnt, like, and that's how you learn more. That's what I'm saying. Like Paul Chek says it too. Like you learn the most when you're teaching as well. Like,
Oh yeah.
you learn the most when you teach. So
It's been weird. Sometimes you have sometimes when you like asking telling somebody something, and then they ask you a question that you're not ready for, and you're like, oh, and then this thing just comes in and it says say this, and you just say it, and it's like kind of correct,
yeah,
and you're like, oh, that's how I think. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I just learned that today. You know what I mean?
exactly. But like, see, if you're just always in that aspect, you don't really have anything to. You're kind of regurgitating everything everyone else is thinking or saying. You know. It's not your thought or your idea or your research or your belief or your gift, or
Nah,
it's
no,
just
no,
a
no.
recycled, like,
It's come in this
Yeah.
year, and my brain's
Yeah.
jumbled it up, and then I said it out
Yeah.
here. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
You're not really bringing anything to the table, nothing new. So yeah.
Just on that, with like being still, for me, I found it really hard. Like I've been trying to do some form of meditation for like 6 years, and like I've been good, I've been bad, I've like fallen off, haven't done it for ages. I've done it like every day for a couple of months, and then I've done the Sam Aris Hap like earlier this year, and I'm like, yeah, that's good. Done the 50 days like straight, and then I was just like, kind of fell off again, and I'm like, man, how is everyone just talking shit when they're meditating? Like, oh yeah, I was just in this meditation for like 40 minutes and I kind of was so good. Like I just went elsewhere. I'm like, what? I'm like, I've never fucking been elsewhere. I've just been sitting there with like thinking about dumb shit, you know what I mean? And or trying to be still and focus on my breath.
Yeah.
And then I come across Ram Dass. Jake Stone actually from Corrective Culture, man, put me on to Ram Dass. Man, this dude has like literally changed my life through just his lectures and speaking and everything like this. I was sitting at the back and
it's crazy how old they are too, and how much they like that kind of stuff's timeless. Like it'll resonate with anyone of any generation, and it's you know
it
how
is so powerful, dude.
how old it is, and it still feels like someone of this time was like talking, or like one of your mates, or like one of your like
It is
older,
so
say like a shaman was talking to you. It even feels like more of a closer like mate type relationship.
bro,
than
it
a
just
shaman.
feels like you're talking to yourself.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's
like,
fucking weird. And I was out the back, and because I normally go out the back and just chill, look up the stars, and just relax for like an hour and a half or whatever. The nights I have off from work and training. And I listened to this one. I plugged into him, and it was like a 40-minute lecture, and he was explaining consciousness and like your awareness of what you actually really are. And he like laid you down and put you through this meditation, and you were kind of just with yourself. And I kind of looked down, and I was up in the sky looking down at myself, like just laying there on the ground. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And then like I was like tingling everywhere and whatever, and then like I just kept going, and then it was like this weird like film just comes over and was like shuddering, and I was just like nothing but everything. And then when it stopped, I come back to my body, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I had to recalculate like who my mum and dad's names were, who's my brother, who's my partner, who's like, what's my life, what am I doing here, blah blah blah. And it was like this 5 minutes of me like, what the fuck's going on here?
It's like transferring to your hard drive or like
I was like
that.
transferring blocked into a computer. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, that was fucking hectic. And that is like who I actually am as a person. Anyway, the other day I've been doing his meditations now. I did this 8-minute meditation where he tells you just to be still, like pull back from all this stuff and just sit with everything that you in. And man, I did the same thing.
Yeah, so
I did the same thing. And now I'm like, yo, meditation's fucking sick.
You're on to like the next level. So you had to go through all that.
6 years, bro. I've been trying.
Through all that.
And I'm not here being like, yeah, I got through. Woo. I'm just like, this is my experience. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
I haven't actually had out-of-body experiences before. And like, when he explains this, I'm like, he never came to me and like, yo, I just astral projected. He never said that. Like, but when he was explaining this, I'm like, yo, like, that's how they explain, like, when you're really, like, going to another
plane.
Yeah, not dimension, but like frequency. Like
it was so.
You're
profound,
literally leaving your body. Like they say, you feel nauseous and you feel tingles and everything.
I felt all that.
So I'm like, man, like I've seen you grow heaps this year too.
Yeah.
Right.
When I think of it, yeah, like I was speaking to Jake Stone again like the other week and talking to him about that experience, and he's like, man, I've had the exact same thing, bro. And he's like, it's fucking scary. And I'm like, bro, it's so scary, but you just gotta like.
I haven't tried his. I've listened to his
lectures.
What was that one?
If anyone's looking for his lectures as well, it's on Spotify and the podcast, and it's Be Here Now, and it's all Ram Dass's lectures. Man, I think there's like 140, and they keep releasing them like every week, and it tells you. There's a dude at the start who was actually like under Ram Dass and looked up to Ram Dass and done a lot of stuff with him, and he actually runs the podcast, and so he has a little like 15-minute intro of each session. But
yeah, I listened to one of those,
and he's pretty switched on, man. And Duncan Trussell actually done a lot of learnings under Ram Dass. Do you know who that is? That comedian dude with Joe Rogan's mate?
Yeah, I've seen him on podcasts.
He's
before.
a super, super switched on dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the meditations.
Man, I would 100% try the meditation. I'm not saying it's gonna work for everybody, but I was like, this dude's touched me. Like, you know when you can see people who give information and you get to choose which one you want, and like no one's ever really fucking tapped into me like he has. And I'm not like,
even. Yeah, I'm not even saying I wanna fucking like. Yo, I'm gonna astral project doing this, dude. Like, I've just never meditated to him before. I had that podcast on while I was like cooking dinner one night. So I just haven't been watching TV. I just put the red lights on, play music or podcast, cook. Like, really trying to wind down properly. So I want to try and meditate with that, 'cause I kind of fell off the Sam Harris too.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot more just like breathing protocol and stretching.
The thing with Sam Harris, man, it kind of becomes a routine to do it.
Yeah.
You're not like, oh, I'm going to go meditate. It's like, you just meditate.
Yeah.
Like,
But
you know what I mean?
It's good if like you're just getting your foot in the door. Like,
Hell yeah, because it's hard.
yeah.
It is so hard, man. Like I've said, I've been trying for
Especially
ages.
if
Like,
you're
it's not for me.
Especially if you're that guy that's never by himself, like always searching for someone to spend time with.
Fuck, I've been that dude.
Yeah, we all have.
Sometimes I still do.
Yeah, we all have. Yeah, for sure. We all have that. There's always days where sometimes like, man, like it's hard to explain, but it's like I don't even care what I want to do. I just want to like do something with someone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Those
get like
days,
that too. Definitely, man. What So we've got Pop Tea coming out. Pearls of Paradise tea.
Oh yeah, the herbal tea.
Herbal tea. We've got you've got a bedtime one and a day morning one.
We're gonna make one though.
Yeah.
We'll make one and have like a discount for your listeners and shit. But
yeah,
we'll just
all organic.
We'll just run this one out first, see if you guys like it.
Yeah.
Hopefully. My mum loves it.
Yeah, Mum loves it, eh? Nan loves it. It's really good, like chilled. Not even chilled, like you just let it like cool down to room temperature and then like a little bit, probably like legit room temperature where it kind of goes a little bit cold. Fuck, the day one, man.
My mum said the nighttime one knocked her out too. She doesn't really like.
She's not really into this shit, but.
No, but like if you like I'm pretty sure my mum drinks coffee in the morning and stuff. So if you have trouble going to bed, and like you don't take prescriptions and stuff, I'd suggest the herbal tea.
Hell yeah.
Way better than sleeping tablets and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Even me, I feel it. I do feel valerian. Like it is pretty strong.
Yeah. I felt that when I had that tea, man, it was strong.
It's not like it's not like you had a painkiller or something, but like you do feel just like muscle relaxed kind of.
Yeah.
You know?
And your clothing, you got a. Well, what do people even say now? Not a season. They say you just got
stuff coming out.
Yeah,
soon,
new stuff coming out.
Yeah, I'm gonna be releasing these hats soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what other one you got there?
I got this one too. Trucker caps.
Yeah.
And I got some
shirts, shirts.
Yeah, I got some Tao of Paradise shirts, some singlets,
undies.
Yeah, undies gonna be coming soon. I'm gonna run the shirts and the hats and stuff first. Get some incense and tea out there too, and then we'll hopefully get the soap and undies by like start of the year or midway through next year. But I want to have sweats and hoodies and stuff by the end of the year, start next year.
Fuck, that's a sick lineup, because at my house I've always got tea. I've always got incense.
Yeah.
I've always got a cool hat.
That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I said. Like, if people might like the colors of the hat or the shirt,